All right. Hello, everybody. Let's call this meeting to order. We can begin with a roll call. Member David Tate.
Present.
Member Brendan Betts is not present today. He's out sick. And Ian Pitlars is present. We can begin with a pledge of allegiance. If everybody present would stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up, approval of previous board minutes. I had taken a look prior to the meeting. They looked good to me, so I am happy to move to approve the board minutes.
A motion has been made to approve the meetings. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. All right, township update. Ed, are you ready to start us off here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, he's at the meeting, but he's paying attention. I think he's good. We can't hear you, Ed.
You cannot hear me.
Just a second. He unmuted himself.
Yeah. We'll give him a second. If we need to switch the order, we can do that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Why don't we have you go first on Helen, and then
All right.
we can circle back.
Do that then. All right. For the trustees update, our township over the last month, we finished out setting up the budget into the Tom's Web reporting software that we use for to keep track of the township finances. And so we have provided to you guys the cash in fund balance sheet for January 1st through February 28th of 2022. Now we have to double check a particular piece when it comes to salaries for the employees, and making sure that we set it up in the right category. So that's the one piece that isn't properly reflected in this report. We'll make sure to update that and get it to you guys. It was just a discrepancy that Bill wasn't able to fix prior to the meeting, and making sure that it showed up in the right fund and everything. We'll make sure to do that. Other than that, when it comes to township stuff, we've also worked to establish the new domain, which is live. So Wabash Township 79.in.gov is set up. We have also done the Google Workspace that accompanies that to make sure that everything is good. Other than that, we also have a piece for township assistance. We've been working. There's been a lot of assistance requests since February 28th, or even a few before that haven't been fully processed because we're working with Centerpoint to get those sent to them. We pledged payment, but as they've been going through a change in how business is conducted, we haven't been able to finish getting through to them to actually make the payment, but we've been able to help people out in the community. So we'll keep you updated with that, and there should be some of those payments that are reflected in the March ones to come. In addition to that, there's a couple other things that the fire chief would be able to update you guys on, including the swearing in that's happening this Sunday. And that's an exciting thing for our firefighters. So, but I'll let Ed talk a little bit more about that. I know that Travis over there is happy that he's finally going to get sworn in, so that's good stuff. Other than that, I don't really have much else at this time. I think that Ed was actually speaking, but our audio for some reason is not on. So
Okay.
Give me a second here and I'll set it. This should have. See if this works. All right, Ed, can you speak and see if it works?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, there we go. All right. Sorry, folks. That was on our end.
That's okay.
COVID for 2 years. We gotta, readjust.
Yeah. Hey, just a quick update on our side. As Angel mentioned, we got our swearing in ceremony on Sunday. It's kind of a big deal. It's a big deal for us. We're doing our swearing in ceremony, and it's going to kind of be a bit of a recognition ceremony for to be able to kind of give out some kind of recognition award sort of things. It's something that's been coming for a long time. Something we tried to do right when the Travis and Drew were hired, and it's just been pushed off due to COVID and due to other unforeseen circumstances. But it's coming up. We would love to be able to open it up to everybody, but given cost and things like that, we're kind of keeping it a bit of a closed event for our department and kind of invitees. But there will be a lot of photos. There will be a lot of things that are posted for people to kind of to be able to see what we did. So we're excited. That'll be Sunday evening. So beyond that, just a quick update on a few things. We did get a gear order placed. It's been 2 years. We typically order 5 sets of gear a year. But for the last 2 years, we've not placed those orders. So this year we got an order that was just put in for 7 sets. The reason we do 5 sets a year, just a very high level overview, we do 5 sets a year simply just to keep our expiration dates on them moving and revolving through, so we can replace things that are falling off. NFPA says that the shelf life on gear is 10 years if it gets heavy use or no use at all. So we try to cycle it out at the end of that 10-year window. So having gone 2 years without purchasing any, we just had to kind of immediately pick the ball up and get moving, or we were going to have a big window of time where we had gear expired off and no gear to fill those holes through that time. So we got those orders placed. We got 2 sets ordered immediately. That was for Travis and Drew. They did not get gear ordered when they first hired in, so we got theirs ordered, and they're actually turnaround time is I was just updated between 4 to 6 months, and theirs is going to be turned around within the next couple of weeks. So maybe I shouldn't have said that. I think Enzi's on here, and I wasn't supposed to say that. So anyway, maybe it's coming soon. Sorry, Alan. Anyway. So that will be happening soon, which again it's a big deal for us to be able to purchase gear like that. I mean, gear is not cheap, but it makes all the difference in the world having gear that fits you and is made for you when we're doing the job that we do. So, so that's exciting. We've got some other equipment that we, just through the process of the last couple months, that we've just had to spend some money on. We've had to spend money on not necessarily purchasing, but we had a few gas meters that are a couple $1,000 meters that we were having some issues with. We wound up getting them sent in for a few $100. We got them repaired, put back on the trucks. And we've just got some other things like that we've had to spend some money on. And unfortunately it's all things that we couldn't really avoid. So we've had since we met last, we've had some preventative maintenance done and some repairs done to our HVAC systems. We had preventative maintenance done on all 7 of the HVAC systems that are at Station 1. And so we were able to identify some issues we had a couple leaking gas valves, some things like that we had to have repaired. Again, those are normally annual things that we get done. So it had been 2 years. So they did some repairs to that. We had some plumbing company come in. There was several repairs they had to make to some leaking pipes, and the hot water heater of the trustee's office was bad, to say the least. It was leaking, and luckily there was a drain there, and it didn't ruin the ceiling and the issues, the things above it. So that's been replaced. There was just several things like that's kind of consumed some time and some money over the last few months. But so as of now, moving forward, we're in the process of working, or I'm working the 5-year plan right now, and I've got it near completion. But once I get it finalized, at least as rough as it's going to be, we'll sit down and we'll have a chat with the officers of the department, let them kind of review it and make sure that there's not, addition, subtraction, things like that to it. And as soon as I get that completed, I'll get it to Angel, and he'll be able to get that out as appropriate. Beyond that, just a quick update number wise, for the year, we're at 236 calls as of today, or at 6 p.m. We're at 236 calls. This time last year we were at 250, so we're only down 14 calls. And a lot of times the differences, if we're short at the beginning of the year, ends up making up around summertime. we end up catching up quite a bit. And then again, beginning of the winter, we that's another place, another window where we catch up. So I absolutely believe with the growth and the development that, I don't necessarily believe we'll have to, at the end of the year, we're not going to be discussing being behind what we were last year. So, but I think that's a quick down and dirty. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to shoot them at me.
Chief, David Tater, did you say 5 sets of gears ordered or 7?
7.
7.
Thank you.
It was typically 5. And so if it's typically 5 and we missed 2 years and we got 7 now, does that mean we should expect the next couple of years to have a few extra sets a year to catch up with what we weren't replacing?
I want to say yes, we need to expect it. But again, Alan Inzinger does a phenomenal job of keeping our dates on our stuff. And really it's something that he and I will kick around to just kind of get an idea of how many numbers we have expiring off. If one year we have 3 sets expiring off, we'll stick with our 5. But if we've got a year that's got 6 or 7 sets expiring off, in a year window, we may try to bump it to 7 or 8 sets, whatever that would be. But generally we want to keep it around 5 because, we had initially had the conversation that since we missed 2 years, how many sets did we want to order? But we decided to stick with 7 simply because we didn't want to order, 10 to 15 sets and then all 10 to 15 of those sets expire out at the same time. So it kind of helped stagger them. So I would say, 6 to 7 probably for the next couple of years. But we're going to try to stick to 5 if we can.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, so I think we can move on. So I just wanted to make, I don't think we had a rule about public comment before, so I wanted to add something now that we are in a period of stability to just say, we're going to have a period of public comment. You can watch on Zoom, YouTube, you can come here in person if you want to. And we'll just do a fairly traditional public comment. Anybody can say what they please during a certain section of the meeting, 3 minutes per speaker. Very boilerplate stuff. So I'm going to open that up to the public now. If there's anything that you would like to talk to the board about or talk to the public about at this forum, please raise your hand on the Zoom, so to speak, and have your 3 minutes if you so choose. Having seen nothing, I will move on. We have no old business, so we're going to move on to new business. We have 2 resolutions today. One to talk about remote meeting participations by board members now that the COVID emergency is over in Indiana. We will be meeting in person, and so we have a draft resolution of the rules for meeting in person. It's quite long. I don't know that we need to read it out here. So it's available online if anybody wants to take a look at it. Fairly boilerplate stuff about meeting in person.
It's taken basically verbatim from the public access counselor's guide to how this new law is implemented from their perspective. So. Right. Just says we should be here in person to meet in many more words than that. So I will motion that we call for a vote on resolution 2022-12.
Motion has been called for a vote. I'll do the roll call now. Member David Tate votes aye. Chair Pitlars.
Aye.
Mr. Betts is not attending. The motion is a quorum and has passed. Thank you.
Moving on to resolution 2022-13, authorizing a mowing contract with Calvin Hill. Angel, is there anything you want to say about this before we?
Yeah, so essentially in the quote that we have, there is, it also included stations, but at this time we won't be using mowing services for station. We're purchasing equipment to be able to do the mowing in-house. We discussed it in a previous meeting. Typically, mowing of the fire stations gets done by firefighters. That's just been the way it usually happens at different stations. And so we're doing that to save a few extra bucks. So we'll be, but we will still be needing Mr. Hill's services for the different cemeteries that we service, which are the graveyard on campus, the McCormick Cemetery, The one on Burton Cemetery, which is right near Menards. We have a third cemetery, I forget the name of that one. And then the fourth one, which is the Sandridge Cemetery. And so it'll be for a cost of 120 every couple of weeks. We have the Menards one, which is 180. That's the Burton one. Sandridge, it will be 120. And the last one is 320 because that's a bigger one for the third cemetery. Hebron, that's the one, thank you. That I was forgetting the name of, sorry. And so that one's the most expensive one. We'll be doing that roughly like bi-weekly or every 9 to 10 days, depending on how the season goes, rain-wise. And so we just wanted to make sure that we have board approval to move forward with that. They had been our person in the past. They actually reduced the rate for us when we did the quote here this year. So we'll be paying a little bit less. They've done outstanding work in the past. He's really excited also to work on the conservation piece. So we're going to be delineating a space that we won't be mowing, and that will be taken care of. We're still working on Nisha's hasn't gotten back to us about, they had a change in leadership. Similarly, we're working with West Lafayette, who's also been interested in growing some of the seeds and being part of that effort to maintain the population locally and possibly adding it to some of the local West Lafayette parks. So they're doing that, and so that would be what it looks like for expenses in particular. So that's what is referenced there as the rate described in the quote. I can pass that on to you guys for the board for record keeping. So
Okay, excellent. Well, I will motion that we call for a vote on resolution 2022-13.
Second, I will now call for vote on resolution number 2213, resolution authorizing mowing contract with Calvin Hill. Member David Tate votes aye. Mr. Pitlar's chair.
Aye.
The motion passed. Thank you.
Okay, just a quick discussion of future meeting dates, April 19th and May 17th for discussing firefighting short and medium term plans and the 1977 fund. Hopefully that will go through in May. Do you guys terribly mind if we do 7:30 instead of 7? If it's a pain, if it's too late, that's okay.
It is a little late.
I know. I can take the heat from my wife. If I need to.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She asked. I said I'd ask. I had to leave in the middle of bath time.
Yeah.
All right. Any announcements that anybody wants to make?
Just a quick announcement is Eric Hoppenjass and Wesley White and I are have put together the first edition of the Wabash Township Telegraph, which is a revision of the newsletter that used to be done several years ago. The first edition has been out. We'll send you the link so people can do that. Got some very positive comments on that. It's all going to be detailed, factual, and I think it's going to be very good. So thank you to Eric and Wes for really a good job on that. Thank you.
Right.
Other than that, a quick reminder, we also have the swearing in this Sunday, as Chief Ward mentioned, given the constraints of the venue and all that, won't be open to the public. We're excited to share those photos and make sure that we'll make sure to post them and stuff. We're still working on the website and integrating the fire department onto our website, but that'll be something that's really exciting. I know that it makes a big difference for the firefighters, and so we're happy that we're able to do it here. And yeah, I think that that's it from our end. Other than that, if anybody has anybody in need or whatnot, just let us know. Even if we can't provide assistance ourselves directly, we're a hub that can also help folks get pointed in the right direction. So.
Yeah. And is that going to be on the new website with the new URL? Okay. Yeah. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, I move to adjourn the meeting. Oh, Ed, did you have something for us?
I did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Sorry. I'm not paying attention to the screen over here.
I just wanted to throw in when Angel was talking about the mowing stuff. I don't know if anybody has connections with I don't want to single Amy out, but a Boy Scout troop, Girl Scout troop, anybody that's looking for someplace to do some community service, if you will. So with us taking over the mowing, we did end up getting a John Deere tractor. It's going to go out and be serviced and have some things kind of done to it, just a blade sharpened or replaced, those sort of things. But the pond area, the retention pond area out front, we're going to need to do some work to that. We're going to try to get some gravel pulled in to kind of pull those sides up a little bit, so we're not having to go down in there very far. When the mowing crews previously that we've hired to come and do it, when they came, they haven't gone down to the edge of the grass line, because it's kind of steep getting down in there with their mowers. So instead of us just not mowing the area, I'd rather do something with it, be it gravel or whatever that be, to try to kill that grass and put some gravel down there to pull the sides out. So if you guys know of anybody that wants to do a bit of a project, we can get the material if we've got some people that's willing to help. So.
All right. Get in touch with us. Our emails are all public. We can forward that on to the right people if you send them our way. Okay, so now I will move to adjourn the meeting.
Second motion has been made and it's seconded for the adjournment. This meeting is closed as of 7:25. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And so wait, let me. Is there having a cheese?
That's coming.
How do we?
Do you know how long that meeting?
He's shutting us down.